Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got Falcon Gaming Solar in the top right. It's the grand finals of the Wardy Mondays. Week number 63. Liquid Clem in the bottom left side of the map. What a exciting matchup this has become. Of course, we've seen it many times, and Clem has been coming out on top, but Solar always gives him a run for his money. He has stolen the occasional series, but the best of fives especially are difficult, and that's because Clem is so good at making comebacks in this matchup, man. How many times have we seen Clem get behind in this matchup and we go, oh, the opponent has lurkers and banes and equal upgrades, or sometimes even better upgrades. They should be able to push and win. And then Clem just hits them with drops from the left, drops from the right. He's on a pure Marine Widowmine army, but he just keeps them so busy with his multitasking. And then suddenly there's 12 ghosts on the map, and he's got Marauders on the front line, and his army just can't get killed as easily. You know, the lurkers are trying to move forward, and they just can't get in there without getting sniped. And he's so good at sliding past the points in the game where he's behind or where there's really serious danger. And that's what's so impressive about Clem. And it's not just a him versus Solar or Shin thing or Rogue or Raynor. He does it against everyone. Several. He has done it to so many times. And that's why you'll hear the kind of panic when I see a Zerg starting to beat Clem. And you hear me when I'm commentating Serral, and I'm like, Serral still needs to do this to close this game out, because there's always this kind of fear that Clem is going to work his way out of trouble. Ryung, YouTube, subscribe, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. If someone could put a name in the Twitch/comments or of the Ryung YouTube channel, please, and subscribe there. Apparently he's been on YouTube a lot. Clem says, Hearthstone YouTube, unsubscribe. All right, guys, remember, just like with StarCraft balance patches, we can only add something if we take something away. So you guys need to go and unsubscribe to Hearthstone's YouTube so that you can subscribe to Ryung and subscribe to Shin as well. Shinhee Biom, absolute legendary Zerg player. I actually love Shin's YouTube as well. Lots of passion there. He's been putting out videos for many years and doing little fun, like, highlight compilations of his fellow Zergs doing cool plays and stuff. I've always said that the most inspiring thing about Shin is he is the people's Zerg. He is the Zerg player who is an actual fan of all the other Zerg pros, and yeah, is able to take maps and series off them all the time, but plays a lot of strategies that I think are a lot more approachable for your average Joe. Uses a lot of intelligent play to avoid the very difficult mechanical parts of the game, whereas guys like Solar will often just lock horns with their opponent and say, I can match you in the multitasking. I don't care if this is difficult. Shin will often try and go, well, this multitasking is really hard. How can I make this easier for myself? Now, he's been blocked on the left side, and I do think Solar's opening here is probably a little subpar, because you really don't want to take this third on the right towards the Terran. But this third on the left is blocked, so what's he going to do? He's just got to delay his third for a long time here, and that's very awkward. Two queens trying to move out. He's going to send Fallings to the left. Drone is going with them. I think the best build on these maps, and we're going to see people do it a lot. Speaking of Shin, he's the one who does it and has made it popular, is take the third on about 20 supply. Even if you're doing a hatch gas pool, delay the queen in the main, just build the queen on the natural and 4 Zerglings and get a 27 or 25 second queen, whatever it is. Just basically make sure the third cannot be blocked, because the top Terrans are doing that SCV scout so consistently and trying to block your third base. So I think the Shin build order is going to be more and more popular, because I have seen Clem win so many games recently with that. Surprised Clem didn't go for the creep tumor. I think he must have already looked away. And he's playing... Oh, he's playing double gas! Guys, I was trying to bait Clem the other day in the weekly tournament into playing... I was saying, hey, dude, you know, do a Hellbat Marauder cheese, do a Battle Cruiser opening, because he was going to a match he was favored in. And he was like, nah, don't worry, dude. Like, I'll make the game fun anyway. He said, I play double gas every game now. You know, I don't play 3cc anymore. And I didn't realize, I thought he was kind of joking, but it really seems like he's playing this as his main style now. This is an old school, early legacy style. This is what we did in 2016, 2017. By 2018, third command center builds have started to take over. With this build, you get much faster Hellions, much faster Banshees. That being said, so Zerg has to build spores earlier, build more queens, build more Zerglings to be safe. But you need to do a bit more damage, because that third command center is delayed almost 2 whole minutes, which is a big delay. Has anyone tried asking the turn players nicely not to block their third? I don't know if you guys have tried that. That's, I'd say, a similar idea, Twitch chat, to asking a Protoss player to not pylon block your natural or stand the probe there. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, what is the best analogy to describe this? You guys ever pick up, like, a severely traumatized shelter dog and it just keeps crapping on the floor? This is like just asking it nicely, being like, Excuse me, Mr. Puppers, could you please not crap on the carpet? Two problems, he doesn't speak English, number one. Number two, he was raised by animals, just like every Terran and Protoss player, and therefore, yeah, he's going to keep blocking your expansion, isn't he? Anyways, Zerglings are going to try and cut off the Hellion dive. He's got a spread. Ooh, Solar with a good spread of Zerglings, but he goes too deep. Solar gets too greedy. He wants to trap the Hellions, and that means the Hellions will get in. Okay, only 3 left, but that's enough to one-shot. Oh, doesn't get the Evo Chamber down. No. Watch out for the flamethrowers. Oh my gosh, I know that seems like a redundant statement since hell flamethrowers are the only weapon they have. You know what? Only 4 drones go down. It does shut down the Hellions eventually. Oh, does he get one more? Nope, not quite. Banshees go to the left side. They managed to grab 1 drone on the transfer. Good pull away by Solar. Does only lose 2 more drones there. These spores are placed kind of a bit far on the edges of the mineral lines though. Almost like he was worried about Liberators more than Banshees. Drone's gonna pull to that left side. Guys, you heard it here first. Terrans are abandoned, emotionally damaged puppies. Yeah, pretty much, guys. Sorry, guys. Having flashbacks to the time we had that shelter cat, IKEA. You guys remember IKEA? I think we still have an IKEA emote in the Twitch chat. It's one of the most angry-looking cats you've ever seen. I tried to break down those walls. She responded by crapping on the couch and pissing on my exercise shorts that I'd left in a pile on the ground. She was like, "This is kitty litter, right?" And I was like, "This is not kitty! Why'd you pee on my shorts?" Cats, man. Anyways, I think she's got a nice, lovely home now. Someone much more patient than us. 14 more Marines there. We were just fostering. We weren't adopting. Just taking care of her for a bit so the shelter had a bit more space until she found a home. Hopefully she's more comfortable. Some cats just don't respond well to the stress of being in a shelter and all that and all the upheaval. Oh, Queen, get out of there. Queen, get out. Pull back, pull back. Pull. Okay, good surround. Good pullback by Solar. As the dust settles, guys, let's talk about this game. You've killed 24 Lings, 8 drones. You've lost your 6 Hellions. Your Banshees are still alive, which you can see he repairs with just a single SCV. And he's going to keep these on defense duty. This really weakens any potential counterattacks. Now, against most Zergs, this is such a big bonus, keeping the Banshees alive, because it just gives you map control, gives you this supporting unit. Problem against Solar is Solar hasn't done a counterattack or a run-by for the last 7 years. When he plays Ling Bane, he basically likes to turtle, defend, and not counterattack at all. He is the most defensive static player. I've always said that when it comes to pure defense, Solar's stat is a 10 out of 10. The problem he has is that he's predictable, and predictability hurts. Doesn't matter how perfect you are. We've seen it so many times where Maru says, "Oh, I can just leave no defense at home and purely attack while being super greedy and play Biomine every game because you're always going to play Ling Bane." And that's why Solar started to mix in Roaches to try and be a little bit harder to guess what he's going to do. But he's definitely still one of those guys who leans into, "I will play this style better than you," you know? And it's funny because he's kind of like 2018 Serral in that regard, right? Serral's much more dynamic these days. Solar, not so much. Hive, is it going to start up? Does have 150 gas. His infestation's done. There we go. He's going to go, yeah, Hydra Den as well, so we can unlock the Lurker Den in a little while. Good creep denial for Clem. Clem's only on 68 workers, though, so he is looking for these trades, and so far, it's only, what, 50% more efficient, 1,500 to 1,000, nothing crazy. Solar actually dancing around down here. I thought he was going for a run-by, but it looks like he's just looking for that drop. Clem's doing a good job of keeping the creep controlled behind this. 4th command center started. I think he's on 5 barracks, 2 factory. He is. 2-2 upgrades are roughly a little bit ahead of +2 carapace. It's +2 melee not starting that is potentially going to hurt Solar the longer this game goes. Anytime the Lings are actually just straight up fighting the Marines, which, to be fair, is not that common. Often it's the Banelings that you are relying on, but there are those rare times where you've just got pure Marines fighting pure Zerglings, and suddenly those melee upgrades really do matter. Something like this. Let's pick up. 1 Banshee goes down. They've been an annoyance, though, really slowing down Solar's 4th from exploding, but the fact that his 5th is untouched and fully saturated. Oh, and those Marines unloading in a bad spot. I mean, there are still 6 alive. Here we go, though. Clem's gonna punish. Clem just dives right up the guts, and he's gonna grab 6 drones and a hatchery. That's a massive snipe there. Pure Marine mine right now for Clem. 9 Widow Mines, 54 Marines. He's got 2 Siege Tanks, but he's leaving those at home as his insurance in this game. 5 is now done. Widow Mine doesn't land on the Marines, and you can see how powerful those Marines are. 2-2's about to finish. When these 3 more barracks come in this main, they will, of course, build tech labs. I don't think he's in any rush to go Ghosts just yet, Clem. but he will naturally be heading there. A few Marauders, a few Ghosts start to mix in, and he's going to try and play that mobile game that Clem always does. Tanks and Libs keep you much safer against things like Lurker or Hydra pushes. Clem doesn't like those units because they're less mobile, and it takes away some of his aggressive power. He likes to be dynamic out on the map. He does not mind playing a riskier style. On the defense, he feels like he can defend by attacking, and that is really what his whole style is predicated on. If Solar can catch a bunch of Marines with Banelings or something, he could explode across the map with Lurkers, but right now he doesn't have the gas to really invest in those early Lurkers. Just going to be Adrenals. Oh, good Widow Mind Drag! Good Widow Mind Drag. Right side, the Marines win the right side, and the Marines kite back on the left. Oh, I think this might be too much now, because look at this. Clem now can just keep picking at you. There's no Banelings on the right side, which means he can stand and fight. Oh, it's a disaster for Solar. The Baneling Cocoons go down. Solar has to tap out, and Clem, to be fair, this is Mothership. It's a tough map to defend. I thought Solar was doing such a good job. And then it's like, you know, his army's distracted on the right, distracted on the left, and that's when Clem just dives the middle. And that was actually really clever, because a lot of the times as a Terran, you just kind of get used to this mode of like attack the flanks. Obviously, you don't attack down the middle. That's not going to work. But if you look at it from Solar's point of view, he's dealing with the right, he's dealing with the left. And there's this ramp here as well. He's dealing with the right, he's dealing with the left. This middle kind of feels protected, right? And there is a few Marines there, but he's not really sure. The Banshees are distracting him. The Lingbane is kind of monitoring the center area, but then he sends it back to the left just for a moment. He's out of position. That lack of map control, that one moment's all you need. His fifth bases are really hard to defend. GG, well played. Nice play for Clem. Takes game one. All right, guys, we got Clem in the top left side of the map. Lovely game one. And that exact sort of game is where, if you're any other Zerg, I say, yeah, don't just play standard Lingbane defensive against Clem. He'll just maul you with Marine Mine, man. Solar, though, I think he really can do it, man. He's normally good enough to survive that. So, knowing Solar, he's not going to back away. And this is always the choice you have as a StarCraft player, where you can either say, okay, my strategy's not working, let's pivot, or I can just do it better. Now, we know from experience, Solar can always just do it better. He is exceptionally good at straight up defensive ZVT, and I actually consider his weak point in the matchup to be just a little bit, maybe a minute or two after where he was. Like, once the Lurkers are out, getting that army across the map or sneaking a Nidus Worm in the midst of Clem just mauling you with triple drops is really hard. And I think Solar does really well when he's defending two squads, but Clem's exceptionally good at splitting a third squad off, and not really, there's not a noticeable decline in his micro. A lot of players, if they suddenly have three different squads, like two armies and a drop they're managing, there's a good chance Banelings roll into the drop without them watching, right? There's a good chance the drop isn't really, they forget to stim pack it or something. They just unload it in a mineral line and don't really look at it. Clem, it feels like he's watching everything at all times. He does make mistakes, obviously. He's not perfect, but it's just at such a lower rate that he makes those mistakes than other Terrans, which is why he gets that aura. Now, this is the point where, like I said, you would have already not built this queen, and instead you'd be starting a third hatchery here at about 20, 22 supply, something like that. 20 to 22 supply. And that's kind of the build order I was thinking Solar would go for. Now, Solar did go for an extractor trick early. He's only got 2 workers on gas. He's mining a bit more minerals early. And did he go 15-15, guys, to sneak the 2 Lings out? He did an extractor trick immediately at the start of the game. Okay, I need to check this build order from the start. He forces Clem to commit to the eBay block. I think at this point, Solar says, well, you're spending more money denying me. I don't mind being blocked if you're going to commit that much. I still think Solar probably should be doing the Shin build here, like I said, or maybe mix that in the next game. Because on these maps, this other third base, the alternate's so bad on this map pool. This is one of the many reasons why this map pool is quite Terran favored in this matchup over Zerg. You only get 1 third base that's good. Often, there's an alternate third base that is like very competitive with the first option that you have. This third base is awful. Way too hard to get down here to defend, too exposed from the left side, and has a cliff up above it as well. It's just too hard to get out there. So he's going to have to just chill now. And without link speed on the way, I wonder what Solar does here. I know, you know, the lower level you get, the response to this sort of thing is to go for a Roach Warren and try to do a Ravager Ling. While taking the third belatedly, but not actually looking to drone it, just trying to take the third to pretend you're doing it. Solar is, I believe, just doing a Nidus Queen Ling all-in. He could be going 2 base Muta in response to this as well. That could be the other option. 2 base Muta is never been a bad build. It's always been playable, but it's always had such a narrow margin for error. Oh yeah, he's actually going 2-base muter. This is sick. We never see this anymore. Where you would die if the slightest thing goes wrong. And Clem is so good with his aggression, so he especially would be hard to play against with this sort of stuff. But it counters Banshee Cloak really well, because the Banshees are going to be running into the earliest Overseer and Mutalisks of all time, and they will shut you down. Hellions are scanning around. He's like, dude, do you have a corner base? Have you hidden a hatchery? Like, and starting to dawn on Clem, like, he should probably be canceling this eBay soon. He doesn't have a third CC started. I think he has to play 2-base bios, because otherwise he's not got an answer to the muters. If he drops a third command center now, Clem, you know it's a 2-base play. You're going to go third command center off nothing but Hellion Banshee. None of these units shoot on. The gall. Speaking of gall, I don't know why the way I said it then, it reminded me of Cho'Gall. You guys remember Cho'Gall? Fucking Ogre champion? Bloody legend man, Ogre mage champion. Good old Warcraft 2 days, man. Anyways, third hatchery does go down. Overseer's gonna come in. That's a pretty late second and third barracks. Spy is already halfway done. Clem is gonna be on a narrow margin here. He's gonna have to probably turtle on 2-base for a little bit, but I think 2-base mute is better than ever against these 2-gas openings of Clem. Right? This actually seems like it's actually way stronger than against the 3cc, because 3cc is just so economic, but in this case, he's invested a lot in early tech. That tech runs into Queen Overseer and doesn't really achieve much. Doesn't achieve anything, in fact. There's no actual direct damage that's been done. Banshee rotates. Link can defend the Hellions. Double eBay is now coming up. Oh, he's taking another gas already. Oh, Solar's going to commit really hard to muters. Oh, a little sloppy here. It does let the Banshee take a drone. I mean, not really sloppy, but, you know, nice catch for Clem. Gets himself a drone. But going 6 gas before droning the third minerals is such a commitment to muter momentum. So Solar's going to play this like, I just won't stop building muters, and I will keep trying to find damage. I guess over the years I've had my faith in the Mutalisk worn down to think that's never a good idea. But I mean, it's something Clem will barely ever play against, and he's so aggressive. If you just come out here with like more Mutalisks than his Marines can even handle, you know, you can snowball these situations really well. Mutalisks are going to take out a few of these units. One Reaper goes down. The Hellions do escape. Queens should easily defend the Banshees. Especially, there we go. Yeah, they got the Overseer with them. Watch out. Solar pulls back from the Marines. Stim's not ready just yet. And he's got +1 air weapons. He is still droning here. Showing the 6 gas to Clem might mean Clem is actually really paranoid about the muters. Good defense by Solar. Gets a Banshee. Yes, 3 drones have gone down, but for what? Like, what actual damage is being dealt? Pretty much none. That Banshee's probably not going to go home. And, oh, huge pickup! Huge pickup! He finds the Marine rally. This is really good because it keeps the Marine count low. If you don't let that Marine count ever get too high, that's really big. Does let an SCV escape there, which is a bit surprising. These SCVs, though, on the barracks. Nice pickoffs here. And even though he's building more muters, I'm not sure if he'll rally those across the map. Stim's now done, so he's got to escape. And you got to watch out. He always looks to trap. He always looks to trap you. So you got to be very careful of Marines trapping your muters. Recently, a lot of people have played muters against Clem, and he always tries to run out on the map and catch you when you're trying to rejoin your muter rally with your muters that were out on the map. But great damage so far for Solar. He's got a very early carapace and melee, considering how late his third was. I think 7 minutes starting is not very early. Okay, well-timed. Well-timed, I think, is a fairer way to put that. Production sucks for Solar. No 4th hatchery, like it's just started. So going for a macro hatchery, a 5th hatchery, things so that you can reactively make masses of Lingbane could really help for him. That being said, Clem, stuck on 3-base, stuck defending. He's making more siege tanks, which is interesting because tanks aren't the favored thing against Mutiling Bane, right? You want Widow Mines normally. And he's building the 2nd factory out front, which he'll build a reactor on, start pumping mines. He'll make drilling claws out of his 1st factory. And the armory is timing out really well because, look, 1-1's finishing. Armory just finished. How quickly does Clem start 2-2? Almost instantly on the +2. But the muter count's grown. 15 muters beats 8 Marines pretty badly, guys. Does he go for the medevac or does he just A-move? Just A-moves. He's going to lose 1 Mutalisk. Oh, good pickup for Clem. I can't believe he saved those Marines. Wow, I thought that medevac was going to go down for shoresies. Uh-oh, he does derp there, though. Throws another medevac away. And he's lost the reactor on the starport. Reactors, of course, take a long time and 50 minerals, 50 gas to rebuild. Nice move for Solar. Dude, this is so cool that Solar's reacted with his 2-base muter. I love this choice. you know, I really thought when that eBay went down, he didn't have a Ling speed, which meant he couldn't just build Lings to overwhelm. I was like, does he just have to walk Queens out there? Like, it felt like it was an awkward position. Queens take forever to kill an engineering bay that's half built. Lots more drones coming in. Infestation, 5th hatchery. I do think macro hatchery is kind of essential soon. He's up to 90 drones as Solar, which is a really good count. But he's going to be playing down on upgrades for most of this game, and Mutiling Bane not the most efficient. But oh, look at that! There's no repair space! He even contaminates the upgrade to make sure it goes down. Wow! Solar does deny +2. Unfortunately for him, it is +2 armor. And to Clem's credit, that is very good for him. But eBays behind the natural are always quite exposed to Mutiling Bane, and I think in the main base or over here is much harder to snipe. And that's one of those things where I think if you just don't play against mutas a lot, you forget that's a position when there's mutas big in the meta, you never build your eBays there for this exact reason. Here comes the attack. There are 23 Banes. I like that he just rolls a few Banes forward, tries to just force Clem back. He's going to keep morphing Banes, and he's going to keep trying to bait stims and forcing him to spread, and maybe just clearing some of these units at a time. Muta's going to go for the counterattack. Does he go for the turret? Yes, he does, but plenty of Marines there, so he's going to have to pull to that left side and get those mutas out of there. These Queens pulling back as well. Clem's main army does retreat. Remember, 90 workers for Solar. Still no macro hatcheries for him. He's done an amazing job with his injects. I am very impressed that he's keeping his money low. Of course, Mutalisks are very expensive units. He's also got 1-1 on the mutas, which means right now they're even upgrades with Marines. Not something you see too often. Uh-oh, and I told you he's always trapping you, but this time, Solar's been caught before. The previous 2 weeks, Solar's been caught 2 or 3 times by this Marine trap. Not today. Not today, mate. The Thor could try to hedge him in because it's got very long range. If he puts a Thor on the edge here and then here, I think it might be able to hit those Mutalisks. But as you can see, Massling Bane comes in. He says, I'm going to break my way out of this surround. You've got way too many units in your main base, you silly head. And Clem overcommits to trapping the Mutalist, splits his army too much, leaves about a third of it overstimmed in the open. Mutalisks are just going to click on that command center, and surely he gets it, but the Ling Bane's abandoned him. The Ling Bane should have stayed a little bit longer so that he could take out the command center. Ah, that's unfortunate. And now he loses another Mutalisk as well. Units lost tab, though, very close to even. This is still good for Solar because he's on 6 bases at the bottom coming up. 88 drones, Ultra Cav, and Adrenal. His 2-2's almost finished as well. Remember, when his 2-2's finished, he's actually going to be up an upgrade because of that deny on the +2 armor, which has just restarted not that long ago. Creep spread, though, is getting pushed back. Clem being this active on the map is quite dangerous, especially with only 8 Widow Mines. Remember, those Widow Mines often end up stuck at home because you end up burrowing them in your main and your natural. He's also only got 1 turret on the natural. Clem is really bare bones on his Mutalist defense, but luckily for him, Solar did stop at 18 mutas. Clem snipes a hatchery as well. Is Clem actually going to get back in this game? He's down 22 workers. But if he maxes out with Marauders mixed in now, he doesn't have Concussive, but if he can get Marauders on the front to hit with Concussive, to slow down the Ling Bane, to absorb the Baneling hits, there's this point you hit, 10 Marauders up front, 12 Widow Mines spread through the army, Marines and Thors spread behind. Mutiling Bane starts to fight so inefficiently. Solar needs to keep up the momentum. He can't let Clem stabilize and finish maxing out. This is a good engage for Solar. Catches a bunch of Marines. He's got to keep doing this. I think this Ling Bane on the right needs to hit the natural. If he lets Clem max out and force a frontal engage, he might be able to overwhelm with mass Baneling, but I think Solar right now he's letting this go back into Clem's style of game, where Clem, one big frontal army could go well for him. That being said, there's only 6 Marauders, very few of them on the front lines, and he is going on to creep here. Widow Mine's going to fire on those Banelings. Quite a few Banelings do go down, but he clears a few Widow Mines, and he does buy himself time. 25 more of these Banelings are coming in. The Ling Bane's going to try to engage there. 2 Widow Mines do land on the Siege Tank. Thor has to pick up. I like that Solar cleared area for himself, but he's got to keep making Banelings. If at any point he doesn't have Banes, he's in trouble. This is that open natural I was talking about, guys. Surprised he didn't change targets to the Widow Mines there. But he does have to back off, and that's the clutch defense of the Clem right there. The Cleminator, as some call him. No one's ever called him that, guys. That's like Sherman. I'm the Shermanator. He's like, I'm so cool. Remember, guys, the coolest thing you can do is give yourself a nickname, as Fogel taught us many years ago when he became the infamous McLovin. Mutalisks are there, 3 Overseers coming out. We've got Marines running to the left side as well. Marine, Mine, Marauder, Thor coming down the right side. Do we have to give up this base? There's no Banelings in position. Ultra Ling's going to lead the charge. Got to be careful. That's a wall of Marauders up front with a good spread of mines, but so deep on creep is Clem. Clem runs in the left side, meets a massive base, like 40 Banelings. Dude, uh-oh. I think Clem's doing really well on the right side, though. There's not much left here to defend. There's only 10 mutas left and a few ultras. I think Solar might have to give this base up. He doesn't want to, and he is still deep on creepers, Clem, so Solar's going to try and take the fight. It's 2-2 against 3-2 right now, though, and all that ultra baneling from that left side needed to be on the right side. Solar, oh, he loses a pretty important hatchery. It's not like the end of his economy or anything, but these banelings need to find those Marines. They're looking for them. Watch out for the Widow Mines. Watch out for the Widow Mines. Widow Mine does land, but only on a few banelings. And the banelings, oh, a great final Widow Mine. Dude, how is Clem taking such good fights this deep on creep? When I'm this deep on creep, it is so scary. It feels like every fight is a foregone conclusion where I'm going to get wiped. But as you can see, the tail end of that fight did get slippery for Clem as his units started to crumble. Widow Mine Bio moving in on the left side. He's going to try and snipe the hatchery. Widow Mines are going to try and take out a few of these drones. He's still got some Widow Mines on the right side as well. In the intensity of what's going on, there are no overseers with the army, it looks like. Yes, there's 2 on the map, but I'm not sure where they are. Hatchery goes down to those 3 Marauders and 2 Marines. Where are the overseers, guys? We've got one there. Okay, one is with the Mutalisks. He just doesn't have one with the ground army. So these Widow Mines are going to run forward. Takes out a few more Zerglings, just causing a nuisance. He's also... Does he block the hatchery? Yes, he does. Very annoying here. Clem, that multitasking, finding him a bit more control in this final, later stages. I say final, but the late game, the early late game stages that we're in now. There are still only 3 orbitals. There is no extra mules. Clem is getting a 5th base, though, and he's maxed again. But he's up against Ultra Bane, so there's no spellcasters for Zerg. If there was, I'd say Solar's still ahead on the tech, but as it is, I think the tech's evening out, right? 3-3 against what's going to be 3-3. Ghosts are just now coming in. It is hard to deal with Ultras, though. Oh, the Mutiling Bane. If he could chase the drop down, that would be good, but at what cost, man? Too much of his army's on the right side of the map, which means he's got to give up the hatchery on the left. The medevacs do get chased down on the right side, so that's a good catch there for Solar, but can he get back and defend this next hatchery? Oh, Widow Mines. Not getting any good Widow Mine shots. No good Widow Mine shots for Clem. His army had to stim and stutter step too far away. There is a Baneling landing on top of the Marines, and he does have to pick up and get out because he knows those mutas aren't too far behind. Solar loses a hatchery but cleans up a vast amount of army. He's only down 5,000 resources in the units lost. That doesn't... I mean, I know it sounds like a lot for a different matchup. For ZVT, that's really not so much. And now trying to rejoin his forces. The Widow Mines do get a few shots off, but the Ultras cleaving through, man. Ultras with that beautiful splash damage attack, starting to chop everything, man. And he's on the basis, he's on the 3rd. He's going to make the Bio come to him. And that's the thing. Normally, if Bio can just retreat and start a step back, it's in a better spot. But he has to run forward and then run back. Run forward and then run back. His 3rd's getting mauled. The command center just went down. And Ultralist does fall there, but Solar, 2 base muta in response to Clem, blocking his 3rd. The absolutely disgusting man that he is, saying, I mean, we said it at the start of the series. Terran players, they want to block your expansion like that untrained dog wants to poo on your carpet. And that is exactly what Clem started the series with. Solar has found the counter, though. He has got some of that bloody carpet cleaner foam stuff you spray on there. He's cleaned up. You can't even see the stains. And he has somehow used the momentum of rushing 2 base muta against the Banshees to just take complete control of this game. He's got his bases rebuilding there as well. He doesn't have much gas income right now, I don't think, but it's enough. He's got gas bank anyway. He did lose quite a few drones, but 77 against 57 I think is plenty, and with 20 mutas overhead, 5 ultras. Lots of Zerglings. Not many Banes right now, so he's going to try to make a few more. I think if he can clear this base or this base, he knows he's got this one in the bag. And Clem is right now trying to defend 2 distant points. Remember, Terran is their strongest when they've got an uninterrupted line of mines and ghosts and planetaries and all that. But when you're defending the far right and the far left with this map control, he has no idea where Solar's army is going to come from. He does sneak a drop down the right side because he realizes I've got to kind of try to keep my opponent on the defensive. Otherwise, I'm kind of screwed. Solar a little slow on the drone pool here. He's going to lose at least 5 or 6 drones. This is a great sacrifice, this drop, to distract the opponent. Comes in with mutas, doesn't get too much there. And you can see Clem's just trying to distract as much as he can with this. Keeping Solar back, lets himself max out again. Another Spore Crawler goes down, but at least the Marines are mostly cleaned up. Here we go. Muta's on the left side. It's a distraction. His army's here chasing the Mutalists, which means Solar's out-positioned him, and Solar is going to dive on that planetary on the right side. Ultra Baneling's going to clear that. No problem whatsoever. Clem too far out on the map. He thought he was going to be able to do a big frontal push, but he was wrong. Ultraling Bane tries to ambush the Terran as he moves down the ramp. Good micro for Clem. Loses a ghost, but he cleans up a lot of the stuff. He also dives in with his own drop down here. Is 3 medevacs enough to pick up most of those units? Can definitely save most of them. I don't think all of them. Mutas come in from this left side. Oh, the turret goes down! The turret goes down. It was enough Mutalisks with 2-2 there to take down the turret. Dude, he has 2-2 on his Mutalisk. He didn't stop upgrading them all game. Solar, the Mad Lad, playing really well. This Bio is going to try to pull back. He doesn't even save all the units. He leaves a bunch behind, tries to boost to the right. He knows those Mutas are coming right from behind him. And there's no Widow Mines. There's no Widow Mines in this army, which means the Banelings are a real threat. There's a goddamn drone in there, guys. There's a bloody drone in there. Oh, and the Banelings are rolling in. The drone is still here. Gary the drone wants to be one of the boys. He's attacking the SCV, repairing the planetary. Oh my gosh, the Mutas are there. There's too much Ultraling Bane. Gary is still in the front line. Gary! 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 He survived till the end. One of the boys. Man, that's so cool. Someone needs to make a bloody Disney film. It's like Mulan, but instead of a lady pretending to be, you know, the warrior man to pretending to be her dad, it's just a drone going, I'm totally a Zergling. Look at me. 30. I have even more hit points. He has 35. I have 40. Hats off to Solar. I love the 2-base Muta response. I don't know if that's always amazing, but I think especially because Clem went eBay block into the Banshee tech, and that just, you know, runs into immediate Overseers, pretty quick Mutas. It feels like that matchup of builds was really tight for Solar. I really wonder, though, is he going to let Clem block his third again on the next map? Or are we going to go into maps where the third bases are equal and he just takes the other third? Because I think we've had 2 maps in a row where the alternate third base really sucked. Let's see what happens in the next game. All right, guys, White Rabbit's the next map. This is a map where the third bases are pretty far spread. Clem's in the bottom left for Team Liquid, Solar in the top right. And, yeah, does he try to go like 15-15 again or something? Let's see. Because normally... Yeah. Let's see. Does he build... He's building an Overlord, so no, just a standard opening. I wonder if Clem doesn't even try to block. But if we look at this, so I think this third on the left is probably the better one. But either one is so far away. Like, it feels like if there was ever a map which is basically shouting to me as a Zerg player... You like do Ling run bys and do roach attacks rather than try to defend. Because if you're just defending with Queen Ling, like the distances are just vast. The ramps are wide open. Hellions can come from any side. Getting through the early game on this map, I'm going to be studying what Solar does to not let Clem just drive in the base and kill 20 workers. I'm also wondering if after that last game, Clem's like, not packing up the double gas. We're going back to 3 command centers. I hope not. I hope not. There's like the double gas, it just raises the intensity of the interactions between the players and just keeps the economy a little bit scaled down from that insane legacy economy that we normally see. How many pros are even able to play so many build orders so perfectly? Yeah, well, I'm really impressed with Solar's range lately. I gotta say, yeah, Solar used to be, you know, he didn't have too many different opening variations for ZVT. But lately, he's mixing it up a lot. Oh, he's gonna do the Shin build! Guys, he's doing the Shin build! He's gonna take the hatchery on like 20-22 supply. He could build 2 more drones, but he's just gonna go for the hatchery now. He's like, yep, I'm done dealing with these blocks. Let's just take it. He sees the SCV, builds another drone. And he's like, the moment that SCV moves left to block me, I think he's just gonna start it, right? So he starts 2 queens. And he's looking, yeah, you could actually see his screen was looking at the SCV. And he's going to go hatch before Overlord, or does he build Overlord? He builds another drone. Oh, he's trying to be as greedy as possible. He's delaying his hatchery. Now he's like, okay, Reaper's going to be here. I need to just start this as the SCV goes over. So he starts the hatchery. Okay, I love it. I love it. This is really cool for Solar. He's avoiding getting blocked again because I don't think 2-base Muta is going to work that well in the next game where Clem expects it to be coming. Nice gas to protect the worker. 1 Zergling does go down, but that's okay. Should be double injects coming in. 3rd queen starts up immediately. A few more drones. I love it. This it's such a scary point. I've seen so many Zergs fall behind to that opening block and then just get overwhelmed. Solar's like, nah, take a leaf out of Shin's book. Avoid having to deal with that. Because that sort of situation where Clem's Reap is twice as annoying as normal, it allows him to exert his APM, his multitasking, because then if he denies your creep tumor or just kind of catches the drone a second time, like it snowballs. This time it is a 3 command center build, guys. So after losing that last game, Clem has gone back to the Omega Verge opening. Basically just wants to make his 3 command centers. He is going to go Hellion Banshee again by the looks of it. He could go Viking or Liberator, but I would imagine it's just Hellion Banshee. He's been doing that a lot. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Got lots of new viewers tuning in recently on both Twitch and YouTube. I don't know what's been going on. I guess maybe just there's this thing where you have fun casting StarCraft and more people tune in. I do apologize to people. I haven't been commenting as much on YouTube recently. I've been, you know, we went to Canada at the start of November, then we went to Melbourne for a family trip late November. But I've been back reading everyone's comments, just you know, liking them and stuff. Try to comment on the YouTube a little bit more as well. But I've been really appreciating everyone's comments, and yeah, just once again a reminder: if I'm ever harping on about something too much or I make an incorrect analysis, just chuck a timestamp in. Always open to feedback and criticism, because we aren't too big of a channel where it's just white noise of crazy people shouting. There's always a few crazy people shouting, but it's actually really useful to hear everyone's comments, and I actually do. I don't always comment on them, but some of you guys write essays in the comments, like actual essays, and I always read it. And sometimes I throw it a like, sometimes I don't. You just theory crafting, but I just love people thinking about the game, engaging with it, thinking about different strategies. It makes me happy. There's something about people obsessing over StarCraft that makes me feel a little bit less alone in this world, you know? Sometimes people come to my Twitch chat or my YouTube comments and they ask like an ultra detailed question that's like a giant paragraph, and they're like, oh god, am I being weird? Like, I'm sorry for spamming a paragraph, that wall of text, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, don't be sorry. You've made me happier than you would ever know. Someone else overthinks video games as much as I do. No, it's just cool. I just like people thinking about games and trying to improve it, and that's the best part about community, is theory crafting together. How many lings have we got? Only 11. You notice he's building 2 more. I wouldn't be surprised to see Solar build 6 more. I think he's gotten away with some pretty good greed so far. He's got a quick layer to deal with the Banshee. He did Overlord sack, right? So yeah, he saw the cloak, he saw the 2nd and 3rd barracks. 3rd command center has already landed, which just seems crazy, but that's a good efficient build order that Clem's done 1,000 times. He knows how to do it. All right, good defense for the Queens so far. They're getting a little bit damaged, but with the Overseer about to come in, it's okay. 4th hatchery timing is good. He can defend that 4th hatchery, that's massive. And notice he's got 3 queens on the left with an Overseer, 2 queens with a separate Overseer on the right. So this is his anti-Banshee. This is like his secondary queen hotkey. So often you'll have main army as Zerglings on 1, and then you'll have your main queen / creep squad on 2, and then that secondary squad on 3. He did pull his secondary squad out of position, so his Lings had to go forward, but actually a great fight for the Lings. Gets 2 Hellions, gets a 3rd one now as Clem stands his ground. Another one goes down. It's really good, man. And he pulls the drones back in the main. The offlane squad gets there. If he targets the weak Banshee, he can kill it. Oh, he targets it just in time. Both players were, of course, distracted on the left side, but really good D. Guys, Solar got away with early droning. He's at 70 workers at 6 minutes, and he's going high. Oh, he's doing the Hydra build. The Hydra build is something Clem's really struggled with, because Clem has been playing Widow Mines almost every game recently. Yes, he'll build 2 or 3 siege tanks early, leave them on the cliff, and then he almost always goes Widow Mines. So if when his first bio mine gets across the map, you've got a wall of Hydras to greet him, it's amazing. And interestingly, Solar's not going the full Hydra style. He's going Hydra Baneling, which is inferior in many ways. It does give you the ability to have a more mobile army that just throws itself at your opponent, but it means you're going Banelings instead of Fungal. You guys know I love Fungal, especially because Hydras outrange Marines. I feel like if you Fungal them, Hydras ruin them. Whereas what happens with Hydraling Bane is sometimes the Banes just kind of get stuck behind the Hydras and they trickle in, and the Marines can just stutter step away. And if the Marines are stutter stepping away from Banelings, your Hydras aren't really getting any attacks in. So I am a much bigger fan of the Hydra Infestor style, especially when you're opening with this 1-1 range upgrades, but amazing economy. 80 drones, it looks like 7 gases, and he's already got movement speed. He's on 9 more Hydras, so it's going to be 16 Hydras momentarily. Marines are doing a good job of clearing creep, but it's getting respread, and his Lings are going for a counterattack, maybe? Something Solar doesn't do very often. Oh, he clicked them on the rocks. He meant them to come around the left side to break these rocks. You just don't want there to be any wall-offs. You want as many wide open areas as a Zerg as possible. Now, we're still building siege tanks. That's number 2. But you can see he's already going drilling claws and a reactor. So he should be stopping a mine production now. And even though he's seen some Hydras, he's not going to expect Hydraling Bane. I think he'll probably be expecting Hydra Infestor into the hive, right? He's still building Widow Mines, not tanks, because Clem's a crazy person. He often just tries to outposition the Hydras rather than countering them with siege tanks like most sane people do. I do think this is one of the areas you could criticize him. Normally, against a Ling Bane style, I think this makes more sense. Just keep them at home and keep the lurkers at home until your ghosts come out. Against this style, it's very difficult to pull off, but we'll see. Clem's going to split push. Main army on the right side. And, of course, the double drop on the left. Attacks both sides at the exact same time. Hydras. Oh no, the Hydras! Solar's in trouble, but Banelings might come in for the rescue. You can see the Ling Bane doesn't really get on top. Good angle for the Hydras, though. Pretty good angle. Whoa! Oh, no, he messed up. Clem messed up his multitasking. Guys, that drop on the left is not meant to be traded out. He lost the drop on the left. Dude, if Solar can break this position, this is huge. He's got his whole army now coalescing from the left over to the right side, grouping up in one area and shutting down Clem's position. I will have to rewind that at the end of this game. I'm sorry, guys. I can't watch every fight at once. Neither can Clem, apparently. If anyone wants to insult my observing, just remember, Clem also wasn't looking at that fight. Otherwise, those Marines would not be dead. So, all right. I apologize for not moving my screen around as quickly as Clem. Oh, wait. Even Clem didn't do it. Get wrecked, hater. I like when I argue with imaginary people. It's called preemptive arguing. Fourth command center is coming up for Clem. He's still got a good economy, but that was a huge swing, right? Solar trading pretty evenly, staying up on our 85 workers, a few more coming out, +1 melee, +2 carries. He's also got a hive, right? So we should see Vipers, adrenal glands, lurker range, and he's got, a Viper on the way. Dude, so much going here for Solar tech-wise. Has he split his army correctly is the question. This right side army is a little fragile. I think he needs a few more units over here. I think more Banes over here. Because if he loses the Banes, and there's enough Marines to just headbutt through the Hydra Ling, that's where things get scary. He's finally going to clean up these Widow Mines, which is very good, but, oh, that Widow Mine's going to get a boom boom. Does get 9 Zerglings. They're only Zerglings. Zerglings are free units, remember, guys. Not literally, but not too far off from it. 25 Zerglings a pop, 25 minerals a pop for a Zergling. Coalescing is, oh, I always say coalescing. I overuse that word. Coagulating? Can I use coagulating? Would that work? I mean, it sounds wrong for that situation, but kind of makes sense. Quick synonyms, guys. Someone get on thesaurus.com for coalesce. Widowmine Marine coming through the middle, but he's got lurkers. Lurkers with range already. Get the queens back. The lurkers are there. Oh, that hatchery is defended. Clem's still trying to hit the workers because he's a greedy bugger. Does get maybe 1 or 2 drones. Most players run away from lurkers. Clem skirts the edge and tries to abuse their slow projectiles and the fact that they have to burrow and unburrow to move around. Marine Marauder moving up the left side. Libs are coming in, but only 1 so far. Widow Mines. Dude, so many Widow Mines! There's not many Marines on this side, though. Dude, he's got so many Widow Mines, though, and Solar kind of walked into that. This is the situation in the game where I think Solar is in a really good spot. There's no answer to the lurkers. I truly believe he needs to grab lurkers and get a lurker here, a lurker here, a lurker here. I think if he could get a lurker across around the edge of the map, or even just 1 or 2 burrowed randomly in the middle of the map, because Clem has so few scans at this stage, I truly feel at this stage you can make so many lurkers per minute. That is the one thing Solar I'd love to see add to his game. No way! How does Clem always find hatcheries when Solar has the better army? Oh! Every single Marine died to his own Widow Mine as he got the hatchery snipe, though, so Clem does have to pay a hefty price. He gives up map control on the right side. Even though he gets the hatchery, it instantly starts to rebuild. The Bio trying to start a set back. 1 of those units did go down. Hydra Lunge is being upgraded right now. The Banelings and Hydras coming in. Can the Marine Marauder get back? Here comes the counter thrust. Oh, the Lurkers are going to hit the natural. Clem, his army on this side gets caught. He does pick it up, though, gets it out of there. Parasitic Bomb lands on top, but while he was doing that, Clem's rally just walked to its death because he was trying to save that drop, and that was a fantastic counter punch. This is the textbook Solar. We always talk about this version of Solar. Defend, defend, defend. The opponent's just punching him in the face the whole time, and Solar's just like, Adrian! Adrian! And he basically is just shouting Adrian. He's making weird, you know, doing some training montage stuff, and then eventually he gets mad and knocks the other guy out. Great trade there. Let's go back and check the fight at 8 minutes. Alright guys, so here's when that fight starts. He shoves the right, drops a tank up, or moves a tank up here. He's already got 1 sieged. And of course, that's the fight we were watching. Let's watch the fight that we weren't watching, and Clem also wasn't watching. Oh. Oh. That's my move. That's what happens whenever I try to fight in 2 places at once, guys. Damn, that was... I thought there'd be more to it than that. Nah, it just... Solar engaged both sides at the exact same time, and Clem was sweatily focus firing and stutter stepping on the right. Just a rare mistake for him. Solar takes the lead 2-1. Honestly, I cannot credit his early game macro enough. The fact that there was quite a lot of Hellions and Banshees roaming the map, but he got up to 64 drones very early, got the double evo and the hydrogen at a good time, and avoided taking any significant drone damage. I mean, this is really big. At the end of the whole early game, he was at 1 drone, 10 Zerglings lost. That is a super clean early game. Well played, Clem. All right, guys, we got Clem in the top left side of the map for Team Liquid. He's down 1-2 against Solar, who's on fire. Does Clem go back to the double gas aggro opening on Ruby Rock? It's another map where the third bases are quite spread. I would say not as extremely spread, and both thirds are very playable options on this map. So I think Solar probably not too afraid of getting blocked here. I think if he does, he just goes and takes the other base. You can't really block both of them. Ruby, 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 Ruby. What's that song, Halcyon, that you're typing there in the chat? It rings a bell. Anyways, hatchery goes down. It's barracks gas. I don't know why. For a second, I thought that was a second gas. I was like, what? Double gas 1 base opening? You know, Clem's the kind of guy who could probably make a like 3 Reaper 2 Hellion opening work against Zerg, right? Into like a proxy Liberator or something. Proxy a starport here, rally a super early Libin. Kaiser Chefs, that's the song. I was trying to remember what the name of that band was. Are we going to SCV scout, or do we build a command center straight away? The moment of truth. Clem's going to SCV scout. Yeah, he SCV scouts every game now. Interesting. Surprised he never cuts that corner. Command center does go down. Gonna move out for the second depot. Look at the timing on this bad boy. 100 minerals. Immediate depot. And then the moment the command center finishes, he's gonna drop a mule, probably on this patch. And he's gonna queue up an SCV. Oh, he goes for the right side of the mineral line. Random tip, try to spread these mules. Always go on the close patches, but spread across this one, this one, this one, and this one, so that the whole base mines out at the same time. It's not super duper important, but just allows your mining to last a bit longer. Whereas noobs will always drop mules on the same patch repeatedly, and then that patch disappears very early, and you just have not enough room for your SCVs to mine, and you end up with like 40 workers on your third base, mining from 8 mineral patches. Alright, Reaper's getting in here. Solar did take a relatively quick third base, but not crazy fast. It was just third hatchery into Overlord. Did go double queen. We're just talking about Christmas foods, guys. I've been watching a few YouTube chef videos on like different Christmas lunch and dinner preparations. Oh, let me know what you guys' favorite thing is out of the Christmas foods coming up, the holiday food. I don't even know, man. I have so many different things I enjoy around that time of year. I think it's just generally getting fat and bloated is just fantastic. I'm not even sure what would be like the most favorite thing. Prime rib every year. Sounds yum. Yeah, prime rib's not like a very common thing in Australia. That's where you kind of like you kind of slow cook that prime rib, right? Like as usually when you do the prime rib dish, kind of like cook it slowly, and then it's kind of like fall apart by the end. It's kind of like a roast essentially, right? When you call it prime rib, I think. I was talking to my friend about this the other week, and I've already forgotten. Are there actually no squirrels in Australia? Not that I know of. Maybe someone's introduced a few, but if so, I've never seen one in Australia. We have possums, brush-tail possums, which are kind of like a murderous squirrel that makes sounds that, I kid you not, are scarier than the alien from the Aliens films. What's the alien called? The xenomorph? Yeah, they basically make xenomorph noises. Despite looking furry and cute, they also have pretty vicious claws. And if you're an avid gardener in Australia, you'll get to hate them because they will like go and they'll decide that they have like a loop in your garden they like to walk in, and they'll just rip every plant out of the ground on their way just for, like, they don't even eat it. They're just like, this is in my way, bro. Oh, Hellbat timing. Big Hellbat timing. Sorry, guys. We're distracted talking about Christmas. Well, Christmas came early because it's time to light a fire under Solar's ass. Let's go. Only 6 queens. 2 more are building, but they're not ready just yet. There's a lot of tumors which went down, which means he doesn't have any transfuse. But the Lings do buy a moment that the high energy queen pulls back. He needs time for more transfuse energy. He needs time for more transfuse energy. He's got a little bit. He needs more transfuses to go down. Nice transfuse. He's trying to focus the medevac. Clem's medevac tanks really well. Another queen goes down. The Lings, though, got a pretty decent surround. Only 3 drones have fallen. These drones did run away from that Reaper there. Dude, pretty good defense, I think, for Solar. That could have gone a lot worse. That was a hard-hitting 420 timing. He hit right on 420. This was the old school 420 light 'em up build. Yeah, following up with the Liberator. Dude, Clem has actually... He's actually literally been doing builds recently straight out of the Book of Filth. He's just picking all the old openings from the old days. This is all like old Pig Daily build orders, man. Like, which aren't builds I invented, just ones I did videos about, because this is how we played Terran back in the day. And Clem, unfortunately, Solar is really shutting it down. He's done so well against the early aggro. I've always said, when Maru plays against Solar, when he tries early aggro, Solar crushes it and just gets so ahead. And you have to play greedy against Solar and only get aggressive in the mid game because his defense is just next level. I think Clem's learning that lesson the hard way right now. Maru and Solar have such a history playing, and I remember every time Solar's beaten Maru in a best of 5 or a best of 7, it's because Maru did like 70-80% Hellbat timings and crazy fast battlecruiser rushes and just all sorts of different aggro. He's so good at handling early aggro. This is one of the reasons Solar's so good against Protoss as well. Is because if you don't do a Glaive Adept timing, he'll be greedy and get ahead. But if you try to do something like a Glaive Adept timing, he shuts it down so hard and just wins the game with a Roach counter attack. Okay, the Lings are now defended with that tank on the high ground. This Hellbat's a bit of a hero. Does hold the front line. Queens will push back the lib. 1-1 Roach as well? Oh, he's going to do a 1-1 Roach all in. And he knows he's ahead. That's a sick way to finish off. There's 2 reasons you want to go Roach Ravager. Number 1, you're ahead, so he won't expect it. Number 2, this is a very sexy tank map. I don't know what other word there. Sorry, probably not the best word, but there are so many tank corners where you can't surround them with Zerglings effectively. There are so many of these little edges where a siege tank is just hard to deal with. Nice, shut down on the lib. 4 drones is okay, but I don't think Solar cares. Point being, if they try to do a tank marine push, you just run up and corrosive bile the siege tanks. So siege tanks, as good as they are against Roach Ravager, they have to be used quite defensively, or the Roach Ravager could cause them big problems. Solar all over this early game so far. Units lost tab, almost dead even. But the fact that he's leading in work is... He doesn't have Roach speed in 1-1 yet. If this push can kill the 4th, Clem's just straight back in the game. There's no Ravager. There's 2 Ravagers morphed. 3rd one's morphing. It's not ready just yet. Only 12 Roaches. No 1-1, no Roach speed. Then again... It's only stim and combat shields. No 1-1 for Terran either. Massive tank shot. Oh, another great tank shot, dude. Really good tank shots for Clem. And this puts him on the timer. You just got to click that hatchery as Clem here. Oh, he goes forward for the Queens. A little bit dicey there, but here we go. Roach Ravager comes in, all spread out. The Marines are going to turn to fight. It's equal upgrade. 0-0 against 0-0. There's not enough Marines, though. There's not enough Marines. Can he save the tank? No! The tank goes down. Solar holds onto his 4th, and guess what? He was probably already planning to do a 1-1 Roach all-in. He got to trade 9 Roaches and a few Queens. The Queens weren't going to be useful offensively. He's now killed 2 Siege tanks and 15 Marines and a medevac this game. And this is a massive amount of damage that he got to do without even committing to the push. Now Clem sees the push coming. He knows this is a threat, so he has to protect his tanks. He needs as many tanks as possible at the front. He needs bunkers, and he needs to pull the boys. If these tanks get sniped... Oh! Solar literally just did a poo on his factory! He just contaminated the factory right before the 2nd siege tank popped out, bugging out the production tab in the process. That 25-second delay is massive. Oh my lord, the brutality. He's in the natural mineral line. You've got to fight this. But Clem can't. He can't. It's equal upgrades. He's trying to bait him into the siege tank. Solar's not taking the bait. And now he's got to rally to that high ground. He does have another tank up there. The Marines try to come forward. That tank on the high ground, not quite there, man. I feel like he should have sieged on the ledge already. The Marines getting gunned down. The SCVs get pulled in. The tank's already gone down. Solar with an excellent engagement. There is a lot of Marine tank coming from that top left side. He pulls back with his left flank. He doesn't want to lose all these Ravagers. I love the pullback away from the enemy tank, making sure he's got the good positioning, not just shoving into a choke point. Biles come down. The tank should be falling. He doesn't get the 3rd bile down, though. The tank finally does go down. Solar's got to protect these Ravagers now. He's got to wait for the Roach rally. He's got 15 more Roaches coming. 2-2s on the way. Clem has lost all of his tanks, and Solar with a decisive 3-1. Clem sticking to aggro builds today. I love it. It's so much more exciting to see. And once again, guys, I have to say, Solar, I'm a big fan. He has been the hard carry of good Zerg games recently, but I have to give a little bit of hatred towards Solar. I don't know if you guys know, but a few years ago, ZvZ was the most exciting it had ever been. Lots of Mutalisks, lots of Lingbane, lots of Roaches, Warloffs, so many different build orders, and lots of tech switches that would go up to the mid-game and the late game. A few years ago, Solar dominated Serral in 2 back-to-back big tournaments with ZvZ all-ins off of one base and then off Roach Bane timings. And since then, all the top Zergs are like, Roach Bane is like the best way to play. And it is so hard to tech up without someone dying to Roach Bane. So it's almost always like Roach Bane wars fighting. And then eventually you might get to the lair tech. But by that point, it's too late to get a Spire and you're both stuck in a Roach war anyway. So Solar kind of made ZvZ boring by being so good at killing people when they tried to do cheeky Muta techs. I feel like here, Clem's playing double gas, interesting styles, and Solar's too good at shutting them down, and I'm worried that Clem's going to stop doing them and going back to 3 command center. Solar, please let a few more of these fun 2-base openings with the delayed 3rd command center work so I get to see more build variety. Don't push Clem back into doing 3 command center. You got to give him some wins here and there, okay, buddy? Chat, hats off to Solar. Breaks the lose streak against Clem. GG, well played. Legend.